Welcome back to Lawyers and Libations with Sarah and Rebecca. I'm Sarah Stottlemyre.
And I'm Rebecca Hallberg.
And we are here on our podcast today, episode 4. If you've survived this far, congratulations. Pretty sure episode 3 involved maybe some not making it to the bathroom time.
Little poop talk.
Little poop talk. Little boob talk.
Little girls trip talk. It was fun.
It was fun. I thought it was good. I think it's good for people to know that, like, actually women do talk about all of these things.
Absolutely.
And they are hysterical stories, in fact.
And we're real. Funny
and we
stuff
are real.
happens.
That is important.
Oh, yeah. Everything's not perfect.
Yes. And I do think that it's a good way to raise your young girls to not be morbidly embarrassed by things that happen that are generally considered bodily functions that you should be ashamed of.
Sure. Excellent point.
So there, you're welcome.
Yep. Power to the girls.
Power to the girls, 100%. So what have you been doing since the last time we came together?
Well, I am in the midst of baseball hell.
You are wearing a Cubs hat.
I'm wearing a Cubs hat. Very
I feel like
unpopular.
It's blasphemous for we are in Braves country. We are huge Braves fans.
I know.
You're messing this up. And
I'll admit, I'm actually not. I was not a baseball mom. I was very anti-baseball. Now I'm fully embraced baseball momage.
I can tell.
I'm still not sure how I feel about it. I was a soccer mom for years, but both of my boys are playing baseball.
So you're not dating someone from the Cubs?
No, but if I were, then perhaps I wouldn't have to be a lawyer anymore. No, I am not dating a Cubs player. My oldest son is playing for the Braves, so when he plays, I wear my Braves gear.
Love that.
George plays tonight. He's on the Cubs.
How old's George?
6, but they're ranked number 1. It's kind of a big deal. And so now I have this amazing Cubs hat. Okay. And on game days, I dress like a Cubs player. So
you may or may not have gotten a lot of dirty looks and snide comments made behind your back whenever you walked into the studio today.
I was accused of being a traitor.
I'm
not, but I love George.
Well,
so.
Yes, you're supportive of your children, and if somebody can't handle that, then fuck them.
Right. But I wear, again, on Braves days, Atlanta Braves, and Hunter Hallberg Braves days, I wear Braves gear.
Yes.
But who knew that when you become a baseball mom, you actually live at the baseball field? So we eat all of our meals there. I literally leave work and I go straight to the baseball fields every day. So
no, I don't want anything to do with that.
No.
I am a soccer mom.
It's a way, I think the soccer mom way of life, like everybody looks way more real. Everyone at baseball, the baseball moms, are fully geared up at all given times with like their kids' names, like monogrammed on their jackets.
Shut the fuck up.
It's real. But their kids are also good. Mine are subpar.
Your kids are good. But
at
so
baseball,
do you think that they're like hoping that they get a scholarship to baseball when they're currently 10 years old and they think they're going to do that?
I think so. And you can tell, I mean, in their defense, the ones that are like fully geared up, their kids are damn good. Like, my kids don't know what the hell's going on because we're not baseball people.
Right.
But these boys clearly have been
because your
playing.
Husband played soccer.
He played soccer. And I played soccer. So, like, we know all the soccer stuff. We don't know shit, squat. I guess I can say shit on this. I totally forget. Yeah, I was like, we don't know squat. But yeah, I mean, these kids were raised playing baseball, and we did not do that. We're very late to the game.
I dated a lot of baseball players. That was my type in college. So Carolina baseball boys, those were my best guy friends and the ones that I would select from to be my boyfriend at the time.
As you sure have.
Yeah, so I know a lot about baseball, but I don't know much about soccer, and I'm now a full-blown soccer mom. And
so we traded.
It's awful.
We basically traded.
Can we trade back?
Well, it's interesting because I think thinking about like types of men, my type of guy is definitely more like the shorter soccer player thighs looking thing. I find typically when you think a guy's hot, it looks like he probably played professional baseball at some point.
That's
like
true,
that
because
physique.
they're like 6'4".
Yep. Nice butts.
Yep,
all the stuff.
It's not terrible.
Yeah, so that's your type.
Okay, well, I feel much better about you being in the Cubs hat than I did previously.
It is kind of cute. It even has George's number. I'm not sure it's on number 8. So
did you have that specially made?
I didn't do it. The baseball moms did it. And then you just signed up for a hat. Yeah.
No way.
I didn't do this. I don't have time for this.
Good grief.
I have time to wear it. I do not have time to go on Etsy and design.
Well, it is really cute. I couldn't support that more. I'm in soccer hell. because my daughter Adeline is the goalie on the generally number one team in Georgia for soccer girls that are 11 and under. And so we travel everywhere, like Nashville and Alabama and Orlando and Richmond.
Good. Like, I feel like the future is bright for Adeline.
Well, I don't know, because I will support her in it 1,000% until she doesn't want to play it anymore, and then fucking thank God can we just get out of it, because it's so much. And some of the parents are a little intense. Yeah, a little intense. They have Instagram pages for their
it's a lot
children.
But it's I mean, and again, I'm new to the baseball thing. I think part of the reason I love soccer is I think, running and like the conditioning involved with 90 minutes of play is tough. Like, if she can do that and she continues to do that through high school and college, like, your girl is
she's going to be good. But at the same time, she's like also is let's not lie about it. She's the goalie, so she is not like she is not a striker. She's not up down. But she does practice with everybody and has to do all the exact same things. So it is great exercise and it's fantastic. And I couldn't be more proud of her. But it all is exhausting. So we've got the summer coming up. So this week, did you enroll in any camps? What are you doing?
I mean, I have 3 kids. So like I have, shockingly, I have a color-coded calendar. And each kid has a different color. And so and we're in Atlanta. So, camps opened up February 1st. So on February 1st at 8 a.m., I
did not know that camps open up on February 1st. That is not something that would cross my mind, actually.
When you have 3 kids, you have to know, because if not, you have 3 kids at home while you're supposed to be working. So I've got I've got my giant big screen on my computer, and I've got each kid and each camp, and I'm literally multitasking and enrolling. And so I think at this point in time, I only have 2 weeks where people are waitlisted for different camps.
You're coming out with Adeline.
That's true.
Yeah. So I have one child and an au pair to help me take care of my child. I mean, granted, I am divorced, so I have a single parent, but it's too much. I don't know how you do it with 3 children. I would literally throw myself out a window off of a roof, because there's no way. They're basically, you're not even man on man anymore. They're raising themselves.
No, I mean, the work week is better for me than the weekends. We had 8 games this weekend.
No.
I'm so tired. But speaking of throwing yourself out of a window, this morning, my 6-year-old George, my little love bug, got mad because I wouldn't let him have Lucky Charms, and he opened up the window beside the kitchen and tried to jump out. And so
for anybody who doesn't know, Rebecca had a very hot, steamy affair with actual Satan to have produced George, who is the most beautiful, tow-headed, precious little fucking Satan bastard you've ever met in your entire life. I wish I were kidding, but he's so cute. But he is evil and mischievous and mean as shit. And I've never seen anything like the way that the thing she has to deal with. Because again, I've got a daughter who I say to her, honey, do you need a moment? She'll be like, Mommy, I do think I need a moment. And then she'll go and sit herself down and take deep breaths. George is a fucking psychopath.
He's insane. I mean, I said no Lucky Charms. He literally ran and climbed up on top of this.
Did he have clothes on or
he
no?
He didn't have on clothes. He was already dressed for school. He climbs up on top of this chest I have underneath this very high window, slings the window open, and is halfway out of the window.
And I'm grab him by his leg.
I don't think I've ever
his ass in.
I'm pretty laid back. I don't think I've ever screamed this loud in my entire life. And I grabbed him and I ripped him out of the window, immediately slid the chest down the wall. And I screamed at him so hard and loud.
Was he crying?
Oh, he's really shaking.
Good, because he never cries. I'm sorry.
Cries.
I mean, I'm not a fan of children crying, but George usually looks at you and flips you double guns.
He does.
And is like, see you later, Mom. Great talking to you.
Oh my God, I'm never touching the window again. He might not even go into that room again. It was terrifying. But I was like, what a psycho reaction. No Lucky Charms, I'm going to throw myself out a window.
He's dramatic. I do remember too, speaking of George, just as an aside, wasn't he shitting on your neighbor's yard?
He would get naked and he would go take a dump at our neighbor's yard.
He would, yes.
So
he would take off his clothes and go to the neighbor's yard.
He actually moved right after.
Actually moved because he would go and get naked and walk next door to your neighbors and just take a dump in their front yard.
Yes, and at the age of 6, he still, if he has to pee, he asked me there, he goes, where's the bathroom? And I go, same place it's always been. He goes, oh, I don't have time to go there. And he just ran out the front door and peed in the front yard.
Yeah.
I think he just likes to be naked. I mean, if there were a nudist colony,
being naked. He's going to be a thinner Chris Farley when he's an adult. He is wild and insane, and he might be a drug dealer. I mean, I'm going to throw it out. He could be a fun drug dealer.
I'm okay if he's a hot Chris Farley / drug dealer, as long as he doesn't get in trouble. And
Yeah. Well, no. I mean,
like light drugs, not meth.
No, light drugs.
Yeah.
Like a gummy distributor.
Yeah.
On a bicycle.
Nothing big deal.
Wow. So I didn't have anything like that at all happen with my daughter. Again, she, when I have to, quote, punish her, I look at her and I say, well, you're being a little bitchy. Do you need a minute? And she'll be like, you know what? I probably do need a minute. And then I'll be like, okay, well, you can go hang out wherever you want to and then just come get me when you're done having a minute and doing like 3 deep breaths. And she does.
She's like an adult. I mean, I think that may be the benefit of having one. I do feel like all of my friends that have a single child, they act much more adult.
Well, that's because they're only around adults. Right. Yeah. So, yeah, that makes absolute sense. I mean, like, Adeline will go on adult-only trips.
She could come to dinner with us and be normal.
She comes to dinner with us. We can talk about the
maniacs.
Things. Yeah.
My kids only eat chicken tenders.
Oh, yeah, no. She really likes carpaccio.
Yeah. My kids can do that.
But I do think it is the benefit of having one child as far as them getting older and maturing at a younger age.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You're not wrong. She has never threatened to throw herself out a fucking window because of Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
That's not happened.
She really doesn't even have Lucky Charms. I wouldn't feed my kids.
She doesn't have Lucky Charms. She doesn't. No.
I have 3, so I'm just like, just for the love of God, get something in your stomach before you.
She has also never taken a shit on the neighbor's yard.
Yeah. Well. That's good. I mean, you're winning.
I'm winning. But there's also the major difference between boys and girls.
True.
I mean, boys are very excited to talk about all their things all the time.
Well, and apparently women don't hold back talking about their stuff either.
We don't. We absolutely do not, especially when we're together and it's just us. There's a lot of stories. You guys would be shocked to know when people say that men may be more disgusting than women. Doubtful. We share a lot more. So your wives and your wife's girlfriends or your girlfriend's friends all know pretty much every single thing that you do.
Yep.
Just an FYI. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, so you got them in camps. They're good except for those 2 weeks.
We're good for camps. Thank God. So, I mean, I think we're organized. I know I did win at a gala recently and did win a week of baseball camp at Georgia Tech. So I need to get Hunter signed up for that.
Oh.
So we're going to try to improve those baseball skills for my oldest son.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. After I get that one lined up, I think we're good to go.
Nice work, girl. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, today we have brought on a special guest that's coming in. I have no idea what kind of drink he's bringing, which makes me a little nervous at all times, especially after Mary Margaret's very strong entire bottle of tequila in the strawberry margarita mojito thing, whatever the fuck she made last time. That was delicious, but very strong. So Eric Rogers, who's one of our best friends, will be joining us. He is a partner at Fried Goldberg, which is a trucking law firm. So we are going to be talking a little bit about trucking accidents and their effects in Georgia and all of the things.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's the best. So that's certainly our go-to
trucking expert for sure. Yeah, they're amazing. So, and God only knows what he's going to bring us. So here's hoping. Welcome back. We have brought in our very good friend, Eric Rogers from Fried Goldberg. Eric, how are you?
I am nervous and doing well, I think.
You look excited. This is good.
I'm very excited.
Okay, welcome to the show.
Calm down. So you brought us a drink.
Okay, so this...
What is it?
So this drink is my own concoction. It's called the Fairway. So I'll just enjoy it.
Cheers.
We do golf together.
Cheers first.
I'm just gonna.
We're golfing together soon. I believe later this week.
We'll reach for it.
We need a new foursome or fourth person for our threesome.
Golf
this week.
Golf, Eric. Golf. Our tournament that we're playing in on Wednesday.
Focus,
for fuck's sake.
Yeah, sorry.
He's like, I don't know what
I didn't know we were having a threesome
yeah,
this week.
No.
I got to go hydrate after
We're
this.
We're gonna have a foursome. You're gonna need you to find another guy.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Well, yes, of course.
Preferably attractive and good at golf.
Yeah. Okay, just fun to hang out with. Yeah. Fine. Those are two.
You actually don't be hot.
So I know this Argentinian. We'll talk about it later. But no, it is a, so the Fairway used to be called the Eric Special, but people got weirded
Somebody
out by
trademarked it. Okay. So the Fairway, what does it have in it?
So
it's delicious.
It's vodka and then half parts Fresca and Pamplemousse LaCroix. So you get that.
What the fuck is Pamplemousse?
It's a French word for grapefruit. So
my father-in-law is a big vodka Fresca guy. This seems a little bit more sophisticated, so I might.
You could turn him onto this.
Yeah, that's the vodka wedge.
So what made it a little pink though?
So then you get to the only Northland cranberry.
Are you being paid to say that by Northland?
Yes.
Hashtag Northland cranberry.
Are you sponsored by Northland?
I got an NIL thing.
You do? Okay. All right. I was just checking.
And then a splash of Key West lime juice. It's got to be.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah. And so
so vodka Fresca, Pamplemousse. Pamplemousse.
I've never heard of that word in my life. I think he's making it up. I would go with grapefruit.
Or not Fresca. Yeah. Well, I've seen the name on the
LaCroix.
On LaCroix.
Yes.
And cranberry juice.
Just a little bit of cranberry. You don't want too much to oversee.
And lime juice.
Yeah.
I do feel like this would give me some stomach acid, though.
Nope, sure doesn't.
Oh, Eric, maybe not you.
I know. No,
it
doesn't.
The problem with these is that they're so easy to drink.
Oh, you're hammered after because you just suck them down like water, right? Yeah, they're really good.
It is refreshing. I imagine the caloric
is low.
It's pretty.
Yeah, it's like all of it because all of it's
calorie free.
Yeah.
Pamplemousse
Fresca. Yep.
You're only using a little tiny bit.
Fake word again.
So it's pretty much
hot girl summer. Here we come.
Yeah, bitches.
I like this.
Couldn't be happier. Eric, I love your drink. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming and joining us on our podcast today.
Absolutely.
Tell me about your firm. What do you guys specialize in?
Okay. So we got 10 lawyers, and we specialize in trucking litigation that's catastrophic.
Explain that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when a person gets hit by a tractor trailer on 285,
it's bad.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And you're dealing with horrific injuries.
Yep.
Be it spinal injuries that require surgery.
Crush injuries.
Multiple surgeries at the hospital. I mean, we did have 2 tier 1 hospitals for trauma. Now we have 1, or we're going to have 1, Grady. Yeah. So you go there.
You deal with wrongful deaths too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Those, that all comes to us, and we work with other lawyers that don't necessarily specialize in that area or level of trauma.
Yes, we don't do that.
No.
That's not our forte. We send it to you.
Right. And so the reason why is because people think, a case is a case, and it's not.
Nope.
It's kind of like if you have a little skin cancer that needs to be burned off versus traumatic skin cancer. Those are 2 different things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those are 2 different things and 2 different types of doctors or levels of
It's a very good analogy.
Yeah. Thank you. I just came up with that.
I know. That was, God, brilliant.
Thank you. You bring out the best in me.
Eric, as an aside, is one of my work husbands that I couldn't adore more. He is fantastic and lovely, and we talk pretty often about all of our lives and our work stuff. So how did you get brought into this line of work?
So I got lucky or unlucky because it's funny. A friend of mine passed an accident recently, like 2 days ago, and it was traumatic accident.
Mass carnage.
And they're like, I don't know how you do this on a day-to-day basis. And I'm like, I've got to compartmentalize. But so I got brought into it from law school. The first law firm I got into was on the other side representing trucking companies, and they just assign you wherever. And this was 2008, and things were just chaos. And so I got trucking and just fell in love with it. And then I got a call 4 years later from Michael Goldberg, my law partner.
Your law partner.
My law partner.
Who we also love very much. He's
love
wonderful.
Very much.
Yep.
And he's says, hey, you want to interview? And I said, sure.
You're like, with me? With you?
So
okay.
We go out. It's me, him, and Chris Simon, who's another friend of ours. And
ooh, as an aside, one of the investors in Yepa.
Oh, yeah.
From the last a full circle
episode,
around to the last episode. Okay, continue on.
Okay. I didn't know the last episode,
fine.
so I apologize for that.
No, you're good.
So their pizza's delicious. Anyways, so
Delicious.
so at this point I have no kids. I'm living in Buckhead and recently married. And Michael goes, "Hey, let's meet at 5 for happy hour and talk." And I go, "Okay." Then he texts me and goes, "Hey, that's not going to work. Let's meet at 8 at the tavern," which
At Phipps?
At Phipps.
God, I miss that place.
That place was so good.
God, I love that place. And when they throw the napkins off the bar.
I mean,
I never thought that the bartenders were so naked.
As a girl
I miss that place so much.
I mean,
So
it just
good.
put a smile on every girl's face.
Delicious. While all the girls there were dressed like hookers.
I didn't mind. They were so nice.
Well,
There's no
they were
other
so
women ate
lovely,
there.
but
They were
all-
independent contractors.
Yeah,
We'll get into that later.
There wouldn't be a workers'
That's
comp
another
claim, I'm
episode.
sure.
But no, their
shoe
salads were
models.
so good. I could walk there.
Oh, it's delicious. Okay, sorry. Continue on.
The guy with the ponytail, what was his name?
Oh, that played in the
No,
music
not that guy.
Oh,
Not
I'm like
liked
the
him.
music guy. We
the
love
music
that
Oh, yeah.
guy.
guy.
Jam
That's
out.
awesome.
He had a ponytail too.
He would
though.
sing Man Eater.
We're looking to hire him. We're going to try and find like a redo of Tavern.
God,
at
I hope
Depot
so.
night.
Can we do that?
Oh, I
please?
love that.
It's in talks.
All right, continue on.
Okay.
Sorry. So you were going to meet Goldberg and Simon there.
Yes.
Just
And
circling
so,
back
8
around.
p.m. And so
There were or
we're
were not
sitting
hookers there? There were.
Do what?
I said there were or were not hookers there.
There were not
There
at that
were.
time. It's 8.
No, they sit at the bar, much like at other high-end restaurants. That's what I'm saying. Continue on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was doing a job interview.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, like, I'm-
so you're paying attention to the people
I'm
that
paying-
you're, yeah,
I'm
that's
trying.
I mean, that's good. Okay, continue on.
So we we talk for a minute, and he's like, gives me a brief description, and then I didn't know Chris was going to be there, and so I'm like, okay,
Hey, man.
are we doing this a group thing? Like, what's going on? And so Michael's like,
This is going to be an initiation.
he goes, we're going out afterwards. You want to go?
Oh,
And I was
God.
like,
Kinda.
I can't say no on a job interview.
No, you definitely can't say no. And you know it's going to be fun with those two. It's going to be amazing.
We did a tour of Atlanta, and this is before Uber. So we get in a taxi. We go down to Highlands.
Uh-huh.
Then we had.
Did you go to Dark Horse?
Yes, we did.
See? I knew it. Did you sing karaoke?
No, we did not do karaoke that night.
I thought you have a good karaoke voice.
I have no problem with karaoke. It's only I only save it for New Orleans at the.
STLA, Southern Trial Lawyers thing. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
See,
I heard you were fun down there from Sarah.
His hysterical.
There is a video somewhere of me riding a bull, but we're so. Anyways,
I was in bed at that point in time. I have no idea what he did at late night. God only knows.
the mechanical bull. No.
I can no longer
Actual
babysit past a certain point because I have got to go to sleep.
So yes, so that's how I got into it, and we finished the night, and then the next morning Goldberg texts, and he's like, "Hey man, great talk," and I jumped in, and at the time I was working for Scott Masterson
Oh, God.
I didn't know this. You worked for Masterson?
for 6 weeks.
So Scott Masterson is the managing partner of Lewis Brisbois. He is a brilliant lawyer, does defense. One of our favorite people personally, but you, don't want to be on the opposite side of him because he's a complete fucking dick. And he is also brilliant and lovely. So you want him as his lawyer, as your own lawyer, but you also don't want to work for him. I don't think that'd be enjoyable. Is that enjoyable?
It was not, and I also worked with, I also, like, Eddie McAfee was
Who was Mary Margaret's husband? Yep.
worked two doors down from me. So
Yep,
he'd
just
roll
circling it around.
around 11
Yeah.
and just be like, hey, what's going on? I need this. And like, Rogers, what do you, I'm like, can you just take it down?
Can
a little?
everybody stop yelling at me this early in the morning?
So, so Goldberg,
So you gladly switch sides.
Goldberg offers me the job. This
And
is
you're like, bye.
and so I
I'm
like
leaving right
I
now.
wrote exiting memos, and so I go in. Masterson comes in around 10:30 or so. So I go to his office. I was like, "Hey, Goldberg offered me a job,
I gotta go right now.
and
Bye.
I'm taking it." And he goes, "If it was any other firm, I'd tell you to get your ass back to your office." And he goes,
But it's I'm going to take you out for a drink
so
because we
he
like
goes-
those guys. They're really good
No,
lawyers.
he goes. So he's like, I give him the exiting memos and like with everything needed to be done. So it passed over fine. And so then he texts Goldberg, or there was some interaction, but apparently I am worth a steak dinner. That was my word.
Well, that's a lot of money in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That is at House.
At House?
Because it's fucking delicious.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, so I was traded for a steak dinner.
Well, that is some pretty high worth at this point in time, Eric.
Yes.
Considering it could have been worse.
But yeah, so with trucking, I mean, it's more complicated.
Tell me tell me some of the fucked up things you've seen truck drivers do on cases that you have gone against them that you've been like, what in the fuck goes on with your company? Give me an example, hypothetically.
Perfect. I will give you the funniest and craziest of the stories. I mean, there's always about like lying or hiding documents, and
they do that on a regular basis, correct? They're like constantly.
So you've got to know where to
dig in.
It's like a marriage. You got to know where to sneak.
And for everybody else, it's like who may not understand. So documents and stuff, they come out during what's called the discovery process, where we send requests for production of documents or interrogatories to the opposing side. They have to provide those documents and truthful answers, and they have to verify that they have been truthful in answering all of those responses. But trucking companies, I have heard, even though I don't do trucking accidents, are notorious for playing hide the ball with documents.
So, yes, as a lawyer on the defense side, you have your ethical duties, and most of the lawyers that I work with are very ethical. There's a difference between being ethical and pushing.
Right.
So if you tell me, Sarah, if you're my client and you say, hey, I gave you everything, and you're a trucking company, I can go, okay. Or I can take my experience that I've had in trucking and go, nah, you didn't.
I don't think that you did.
And so sometimes you just have to push a little bit more to make the other person push. Doesn't mean the other lawyer's being unethical. It's just a lack of effort.
So it's hold on. All documents responsive to said request within the possession, custody, and control of the trucking company have been provided. Go get the fucking documents and bring them if you know how to get them. I don't think that you actually have them like on your person at all times, correct? That type of thing.
So, for example, I have a case pending against said friend of ours. And it's not a trucking case, it's a premises case, but it involves an explosion at a... You know what? We're going to save this. We're going to
let's not do this right now. Tell me about some of the, I know, because we've talked about it. Give me some other stories about things where drivers of said trucks have, I don't know, been shit-faced or have history. Give me that. Question.
Okay. So
let's not talk about anything pending. That could get bad. Go continue on.
So I get a case referred to me, and it's two 20-somethings that were in a car. They get rear-ended at like 1 a.m. By a truck, tractor trailer, and pushed off 75 South.
How fast was the truck going?
McDonough. It doesn't really matter. He was
schmammered.
This is so. He gets charged with DUI. So I go
the truck driver.
The truck driver. So I go take his deposition, and this is one of my favorite moments. And it's Stephanie Brown was on the other side, wonderful lady, and so I'm deposing this guy. And he's probably like 60. And he's like, well, my buddy was in town that I hadn't seen in a long time in Lithonia. And I go, okay. He goes, I was heading to New York. And I go, well, no, you weren't. You were going south on 75.
He thought he was heading to New York.
So he went and they had like a little barbecue thing with a bunch of buddies. And I go, so, well, what were you drinking? And he's like, well, I had a beer. And we may have smoked a joint. And so then I go, and what else? And he goes,
some ayahuasca.
We had some White Lightning.
Wait, is
moonshine.
Moonshine.
Mm-hmm. So the defense attorney, Stephanie, to her credit, didn't know what White Lightning was.
She's not a country girl like us. I'm like, I know what that is.
Yeah.
And I go, ooh, White Lightning. And it's the George Jones song. And so I had to play it for her. After the deposition.
Oh, I was like, during the deposition, where you're like, can we take a break for a minute?
I was like, you're going to pay me on this case. This is
a problem.
Bad. So, yes. So that was one of the craziest.
And so do trucking companies also like regularly, I mean, like have you seen it where they hire, I don't know, former fucking meth addicts and things like that where they've like tested positive for things? I mean, the people, some of the people, now granted, a lot of our trucking industry are extraordinarily safe drivers and they are lovely people and they have their CDLs and they take their jobs very seriously. However, are there companies that cut corners and hire people that have already been arrested without doing appropriate background checks and things?
Yes. So I call it's the 80-20 rule, and it exists everywhere. Mm-hmm. We always have to remember 80% are great. Mm-hmm. So there's great truck drivers out there. They're paying attention.
We've represented a lot of them. Yeah. I couldn't love my truck driving clients more.
Absolutely. So I am not denigrating the industry
as a whole.
But yes, you have a lapse in certain areas. And so I've got a case with a dump truck company that allegedly knew that this guy had a DUI and lost his license and still let him drive.
Like his regular license? Not
Everything.
just his CDL?
Everything. Because he was a DUI.
Like all of it, just done so. You can't have a CDL and get a DUI. That's not appropriate.
I agree.
Come on.
And he's was currently working on the project at 400 and 285.
Jesus Christ.
Crazy.
Okay.
So one thing that I think about, I mean, particularly driving here today on 285, anytime, now that we're kind of like in the personal injury world and I see, just with the car accidents alone, it stresses me out.
Oh, God.
But if I see a truck, I'm like, well, I'm going to go ahead and move over a few lanes. I make sure I'm not near one of traffic stopping. Like, what are your tips to our listeners when you're driving on the interstate with a truck? What do you do?
Okay.
Other than immediately exit. Like, I hate tractor trailers.
I mean, on 285, since they don't generally shoot up the middle, when 6 lanes are filled with tractor trailers, what do you do? Immediately exit and pray. And hope that you have not seen Final Destination 2 or 3 or 4, something like that, with the logging truck, and it comes through the window. It scares the shit out of me.
Oh, yeah, we haven't cheersed.
We're cheersing. Okay.
But no, I do.
So it scares the shit out of me every time. I couldn't agree more.
Okay. If I've got my kids in the car and I see a tractor trailer, I'm like, let's go to McDonald's. We're going to take a little break.
So, I mean, if you have a bad driver, that's one thing. I would say one tip is don't drive to the front right of a tractor trailer. That's their blind spot. And they're going to turn, if they're changing lanes, they're going to come over to you.
So their passenger front
is not a good place.
Is their general bad spot.
That is their number one blind spot. They have others, but that's the number one because they're looking to come over. They can't see you. And it's not your fault because you're there. It's just
they can't see you. It's too big. The cab's too big. The mirrors are not strong enough. All the things.
And you're going to get pit maneuvered, and it's not going to be fun. You may come out okay, but just don't.
I don't want to be pit maneuvered by a tractor trailer. I'm not going to lie.
So that would be my number one tip. To the audience of that.
So really fast, I did notice because I am Generation X. I am older than you, Eric, you fucker. And Rebecca and I are both Generation X. So I remember growing up, tractor trailers did not used to have those things down at the bottom of the back of their trailer portions, right? That would keep you from going underneath when I was in my little Saturn SC2 sports coupe. From being completely decapitated. Do you know approximately the year that those came in and any federal guidelines or anything that had those installed or required them or anything like that?
Is that just like the mud flap?
The mud flaps were, that was one of our big con law, interstate commerce for Congress, regulating interstate commerce. But no, which that was huge too. But the ones so when we were growing up, it used to be wide open in the back, right? So you'd always hear these terrible stories about the family of 4, the trucker slams on his brakes, family of 4 goes under and everybody gets cut in half, right? Terrible. So when did they start doing the lowered thing?
That was late 80s, early 90s. I can't give you an exact.
See, look at me, Generation X. Yep. I remember being on the road without him. It was awful.
So it's called the ICC bumper. Okay. And it's federally regulated.
Thank God.
And so it's still going to kill the driver if you hit it hard enough.
Okay, yeah.
But it will save everybody else. It doesn't, it avoids an underride, which is
everybody else in the car going underneath the car.
Yes.
Okay. So, and what about the things on the side of the truck that come down and you're like going under? Are you? Because
you
those
can't do like
started
the
coming
National
in.
Lampoon thing?
Yeah,
Like
the
where you can't
National
go
Lampoon
underneath?
where you go like under and you're driving and then you come back out. Now, of course, you're going to die. There's no like coming back out from it. But when did that start happening?
Oh, Sarah, now we're getting into politics. So those things don't do crap.
They don't do anything.
So you can still go underneath.
They make you feel better.
No.
Me better.
They're designed for air to give them fuel, better fuel mileage.
Oh,
Shut up. It has nothing to do with preventing smaller cars from going under the thing from
Not
the
a
side.
damn thing.
Shut up. Okay, I
am
didn't know
serious.
that.
Europe has them, but we don't. And this is the big thing Joe is on.
Joe Freed, who
Joe Freed is my law partner.
His law partner. He is actually one of the nation's leading truck experts on trucking cases. He's brilliant, speaks all over the country.
He's big on these because of bicyclists. So they get like caught on, like cut over on.
I actually represented a case of this when I was
Where a
in law
tractor
school,
trailer
where you're
turns.
like taking a right turn and a bicycle gets hit and then brought under. Yes, I know this. I had one of those cases. In law
So
school.
no, all those things are fake news.
Bullshit.
Fake news.
Okay.
But so you're saying it's real news.
So my other question for you is, you know those spiky things that go on the wheels of like some like tow trucks and stuff? Are they done just to, like they're on the hubcaps
Are
and
they
the lug
decorational
nuts?
or are they?
Or some large trucks, do they serve a purpose or are they try and make your penis look larger? Which one are they? They always make me a little nervous whenever I drive by them.
That's a great question.
Do you know?
I think it's penis enlargement.
Okay. I didn't know if they actually served a purpose. Like,
They look
if you start
terrifying.
to slide over, like it'll ting your thing, and then you'll know to move over, or if it's just because you might have a small penis.
Now, I will say one thing that I want our audience to hear
Yes.
is about the insurance for tractor trailers.
Yeah.
So Ronald Reagan
It's larger.
put in the requirement that trucks must have a minimum of 750,000
Nice work.
if they're interstate.
Yep.
Cross lines. Georgia is 100, 300.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Not
So
So
it's
that's
lower
just
than
in
federal?
state.
If-
It's
if you-
100 and
if you-
300, but if you go cross state,
then it's 750. But it's so if you have a chicken plant in Gainesville and it's driving plant chickens down to South Georgia for processing, that truck only has to have $100,000.
Shut up.
no fucking way.
That doesn't make
That's
sense.
100%. It's the Public Service Commission that regulates it, and they've never updated
So
it.
Ronald Reagan's 750 if you're going interstate. So if he's crossing from, say, Gainesville and you're going up to Franklin, North Carolina, then you need to have 750. But if you're just going Gainesville down to McDonough, you only need 100? That's
Well, what's
some
crazy
bullshit.
is Reagan was president in
The 80s.
84.
84. Yeah, it's
We
been
were
a long
5
time.
years old. And
Yeah.
so I mean,
And
think
that
about, like,
amount hasn't
inflation.
changed.
That has not changed at all, even though everything
Sounds like we
remains-
have some new lobbying to do at the state house.
It is. It's
That's
ridiculous.
insane.
And Joe Freed, my law partner, is a big advocate and has been working in Congress to get this changed.
Should be at least $1 million.
Minimum of $1 million because they're
least.
not. You're not going to have a back strain from hitting a fucking tractor trailer. You're going to need multiple surgeries or you're dead.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have wrongful death cases, right? All right. So I'm asking you this so people will know. Wrongful death cases where, let's say, a family of 4, okay, and a tractor trailer fucks it up, right? Comes over, they're in the blind spot. This family of 4 dies. You're telling me the maximum they will pay is $300,000 for the
No.
family of 4? Tell me how this works.
No, I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you they'll pay maximum of 100. Oh, family of 4. Yes.
Family of 4.
Yes.
Yeah. So 100 per person, 300 per
300 total.
per occurrence. So 300 for the family of 4. Shut your mouth, good sir, when you're talking to me.
I've got a case with a 15-year-old girl with the leg off. Sorry.
It's okay, whoever it may be. Yes.
With an amputated leg.
Uh-huh.
And they're trying to say, we only owe you 100. And the company, and so we're trying to figure out if this guy's crossing state lines, what he's doing. and trying to find more coverage. But this girl may end up with $200,000.
Shut up.
But all this brings us back. So our last episode, we talked about health insurance and MedPay and all of these things. So a friendly reminder to our listeners, pull out your insurance policy and you need to check to see
your MedPay.
If you have MedPay and if you have
health insurance.
And also, for the love of God, get health insurance. Because at least in like that scenario, if she had MedPay and health insurance, she would at least have the resources to pay for the necessary treatment instead of being screwed.
So that needs to be changed immediately.
And so what you need to remember, and this is something I want to tell everyone is, I get this question a lot of times at the beginning of cases. Well, aren't they going to pay for my medical bills? And I'm like, not right now.
Nope.
And so you're out in the wind. You're injured. You don't have health insurance. You don't know where to go. You're lost. You've never been through anything like this. This is sort of my day-to-day life. Like
medical treatment on a lien.
This is every twice a week.
Yep.
I'm dealing with clients that are lost, and it sucks because they don't know where to go. They don't know where to turn to. And thankfully, we have the resources and availability where my clients have my cell phone and they're like, hey, where do I need to go? Go to this doctor. Okay, let me make your appointment for you. Like, they're just scared. Mm-hmm. And that's the hardest part about what we do is that our clients are just scared of what the future may hold.
Of course.
They don't know how they're going to recover. They don't know where they're going to recover.
How they're going to make a living.
And so what I tell my clients is I go, look, I don't know at the beginning of every case. I tell my clients, look, I don't know what your problems are going to be. We're going to find that out together. I'm not going to guess. I'm not going to hypothesize about what your problems will be. But here's what I know. I've seen most everything. If you let me know, I will figure it out. Mm-hmm. I'm a logistics person or logistics woman, whatever.
Well, you personally are a man, I think. But
for now.
You do you, Eric.
Man, I feel like a woman. Shania's like,
I don't know what's going on, but I mean, if you're not a man, that's cool too. I fucking couldn't support it more.
So that's what I tell them is, look, just you text me any problem you have. I'll tell you if it's a problem. One.
Yeah.
Or you're just stressing out about something. And if it's a problem, then we'll
figure it out
together.
That is, that's being a good lawyer, because we run into that shit all the time with our clients where God knows what they're getting ready to say. And I'm like, just make sure you tell me everything so I know.
Yeah.
Then we can.
And so if your lawyer's not doing that, like being part of your team, then you got the wrong lawyer. Like, they just need to be available to you because no case is the same.
Right. Well, any client that we have that gets involved in a major accident with a trucking company, we always bring you guys in as co-counsel to help us, because again, it is very specialized. A lot of people will say, well, you're a lawyer, can you help me with my DUI? Or you're a lawyer, can you get me out of this traffic ticket? Or can you draft up this will or something? It's like asking an orthopedic surgeon who specializes in knees to do dental surgery. Like, it's not the same thing. You've got specializations throughout our field of expertise, and I would say that you guys are definitely our go-to for trucking, and we couldn't be happier to have you here today.
And Sarah, if you get picked up by somebody like a lady of the night and get caught with that, she is your go-to girl for that.
What am I going to do?
She is a fixer. I feel like if you have a problem,
for sure. I am a fixer. I always say that God damn it, Eric. I do always say that I have a bag of lime and a shovel ready for all occasions if needed. If somebody really needs me to get rid of somebody, I can help you. But yes, I am your person for that. So, Eric, we're going to play a little game. Since you brought this lovely little drink, we're going to play Never Have I Ever.
Ooh.
My
favorite.
I think you're good. You still have like half
I'm sure that you have not done any of the things.
Yes, I'm sure. You're not going to drink it all. You'll be fine. So never have I ever had been playing a golf tournament where one of our golf people flipped a fucking golf cart.
Well,
I guess I'm going to drink this too. Rebecca wasn't here for it.
Okay.
Well, we can tell who the well-behaved one is here.
Yeah. that's cute.
Oh, we're going to go down that route.
Just
All
saying.
right, Eric,
Just
tell
saying.
the story.
Yes. So this was about a month ago.
Yep.
And my partner that I was with.
I was part of the foursome.
Yes, you were part of the foursome. But the
We
guy that I
used
was,
my ball and Jessica's ball more than any of y'all's fucking balls. Just so we're clear.
Okay.
We killed it. All right, continue on.
You did.
I think it sounds like the girls' balls were better than the boys' balls.
Bigger.
And that's
All
turning.
the balls were great.
Ours are bigger. Okay, continue on.
So I tell my buddy, and I was driving my cart, and I said, hey, I'm going to walk up because my ball is up there, and I'm going to pick up the ball and meet you at
Near the
green.
hole.
And he just keeps driving. And he thought it would be funny to skid.
He
And-
kept doing that the whole fucking
Well, he
game.
was
though.
skidding straight the whole
He
time.
would skid straight and do the.
I don't like this at all. You know, this is how brain injuries happen.
It gives me hives. It makes me very nervous.
Like, we need our brains for a living.
So
Yeah.
this time he decided, I'm going to skid and turn.
I'm gonna cut it.
And I was not in the cart. Otherwise, this
Praise be.
This would not have happened if I was in the cart. It was
Because
a
you
weight
would have been
differential
driving.
problem.
Or because he was fucking cutting it on a downhill, like straightaway while slamming the brakes.
I
Maybe
thought
that
Eric was
could be
in
it.
the thing.
no, I'm sitting on the.
Eric wasn't in it. No,
God,
Ali
nice.
was in it, and he cut it. Needless to say, we were up on the green.
We don't name names.
Oh, whoever it was, we were on the green, and the fucker. All we hear is the slamming of the brakes and the screeching of the tires, and we look over, and the fucking thing is flipped, and we giggled. Because that's what you automatically do. And then I was like, oh my God, is he actually hurt? And I had to run up and help push the fucking golf cart off him because his ankle was strapped underneath it. Like,
So the best part was.
who does that, Eric?
So the best part was that I was like on the far side of the green, and like the girls are freaking out, and I was like, I just stood there.
Yeah.
And I was like, yep.
Way to get into emergency mode, Eric.
You can tell you're not a mom. A
Yeah.
mom's
Oh, no.
like,
a mom immediately.
like
That's
immediately flip over
Yes.
the golf cart.
Yeah.
You've got to have women in your life because they'll save you.
100%. I was
he
at.
could have died under there. And I'd
No,
been
he
like,
absolutely. He was like,
oh, man, we
sucks
lost the
for
lead.
him.
That's-
that poor little fella.
he did it to
Yeah.
himself. It
Yeah.
wasn't me.
No, immediately the moms are going to be like running in there and like lifting off carts and stuff. Anyway, the poor little fella was trapped, so that was fun. So I drank
Okay.
for that one. You drank for that one. Rebecca didn't. Never have I ever been in a house during a seminar that has had the SWAT team arrive at it.
I don't know if they're.
Oh, you better fucking drink, Rebecca. You were there.
I don't know if it's SWAT, but it was.
I actually think it said SWAT on their hats. But go ahead, Eric. I'll let.
I love it. He gets to tell the story.
Yeah, I know. He gets to tell. Well, and Rebecca can tell her version of it because, in all honesty, I was asleep. Tucked into bed after reading my book. I'm sure it was the Bible.
Y'all are making my neck sense.
I'm sure that I crawled into bed reading the Bible and I fell asleep with a very great, wholesome dream. And what happened, Eric? How'd the SWAT team end up at our house?
So it was a conference down on a certain island.
Some young children try to bust our party.
Oh, I can participate in that part. I was
Yep.
not asleep yet.
You kicked them out, Sarah.
Did kick them out because they
they
were
were
trying
18.
to come into our house and they were 18 years old. And I was like, I'm sorry, this is too much for your young virgin eyes. You cannot be involved in a lawyer party on Sea Island. And they were very mad that they got kicked out of the party. I was like, come on, guys, give me a fucking break. Man, you're literally 18. You guys got to hop your little fannies out of here. And needless to say, they came
Pat
back.
the fannies? Or
I did not pat their
She was
fannies.
married then. Now she definitely would have patted. She
married
definitely would have
then.
patted that fanny now.
If that is not true.
Are you 18?
Are you
Come on
18?
in.
Fine. Absolutely not. I
allow
would not
myself to introduce myself.
I would not have done either of those things. But
Would you like to meet Mrs. Robinson?
no. So those little assholes, though, they came back and flipped our golf carts. We had lovely like 8-seater golf carts, and the fuckers flipped them in our little driveway because they're psychopaths. But apparently, the authorities were called.
Yes. And so this was sort of I don't want to call it a villa.
It was a fucking French villa.
It was a French villa.
No, yeah, it was. Yeah, this was.
I went a little overboard.
Eric had just settled a very good case, and so he was like, "Let's do a big house at Sea Island." We go, "Okay," and there were what, 8 of us, 10 of us? There was plenty of us. I have no idea. Anyway, continue on.
So I decided after the party to go to the beach and jump in the ocean.
Yes, as you should.
As you should, you know. And Rebecca and Sarah were up top.
No. I was not.
I think I was probably with Mary Margaret on the roof.
Yes, you were with Mary Margaret on the roof. Yes.
From the prior episode.
Yep.
Yeah. So they could see me. So they're looking down and they're like, "What is Eric doing?" And so as I come out of the water, apparently our party got a little rambunctious.
Or those asshole children. I sound like a Scooby-Doo episode. Those bastard kids ratted us out to the cops.
Something happened. Anyways, and so there's a walkway through the dunes, and I'm on the beach, and so I see these flashlights, and they're like, I hear these voices, "What are you doing?" And I assume that it's my folks that I'm staying with in the house.
Yes, of course.
And so I proceed to cuss them out.
Yeah.
In a joking,
"Go fuck yourself, man."
Well, in an Irish accent too. So, because it's funnier that way.
It is funnier that way.
And so they came out and they're like, "Sir, what are you doing?" I was like, "Well, I was just having a swim." And so
I was bathing myself in the ocean, in the moonlight in the ocean.
I was cleansing my soul.
I'm sorry.
Yes. So I had my shirt off and everything, and it was just an awkward experience. And they were
nice. I saw the whole scene. The SWAT team could have. I mean, I think in today's world they may have been a little bit more aggressive than they were back then.
They could have killed me.
They would have
been within their rights.
You're lucky you're charming.
Yes, with your fake Irish accent.
Yeah. But no, it was those kids. They were pissed. They couldn't stay for our grown-up party.
Those goddamn kids. What do you say in Scooby-Doo? Those meddling kids. Right? Those meddling kids. They were those little bastards.
That's what they were.
And so they called the SWAT team on us and told them about our party.
So does that, do you think they called 911 or is there like an FBI number you call for that?
I don't know.
What do you think they said about us to get the SWAT team there?
I don't really want to, I can neither confirm nor deny nor think of anything that they would have said about us, but it was probably not good.
No.
Again,
Losers.
I had only been reading the Bible laying in bed.
I think it was like Footloose. They said that we were dancing. And so
we were dancing.
Which, you know what that leads to?
A lot of dancing.
Oh, you have no idea what that leads to.
Like
that
dancing
shit
is just,
goes awry. You've seen Dirty Dancing. I saw how those kids danced. Trash.
I mean, just.
I mean.
So Eric.
So Sarah,
we were going to give you a never. You and Rebecca get a never have I ever since I came up with those 2 never have I ever questions. So what you got? Let's do it.
Oh, okay.
Ladies and gents, never have I ever.
Mine are all so inappropriate.
Well, that's okay. That's why we're on a podcast and not mainstream.
Put Sarah on a little.
I don't know what that means. That's not fair.
Never have I ever been married and divorced twice.
You're an asshole.
I always forget about our first marriage.
Right? Well, it was a starter.
You should. So do I. All right, I'm going to have my drink and I'll tell you a story.
I want to meet this guy.
I don't think it should count.
I don't
Based
think
on what I've heard.
It doesn't count because it was 6 months. I only got
married.
married.
Did you even bang him?
I did. Repeatedly, yes. But
you did. But it definitely wouldn't count.
Yes, I did, in fact, have intercourse with that man. Okay. But it was, so I got engaged.
This episode's going a little off the rails.
I got engaged in 3 months, and I planned.
Had you only known him for 3 months?
No, I always go back to the well. So I knew him in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Oh, God, you do go back to the well.
I'm way back to the well.
She's a mountain woman.
I am. Well, no, that was from Sarasota, Florida. So anyway, we got married in a castle in Scotland, and we had 50 people that were coming to the wedding. So it's not really my fault in the sense that I couldn't call it off because there were 50 people coming to a wedding in Scotland. So I ended up getting married, and then I caught him soliciting sex on Craigslist, and I hooked him in the jaw, and I filed for divorce on the same day. It was 6 months. That's not really my fault. Like, that shouldn't even count. That should have been an annulment.
You should have still been happy at 6 months.
Yeah.
Question.
It was an annul. It should have been annulled. What?
When you say soliciting sex, was he offering it up, or was he trying to get it?
So I caught him on email, and it was like, "Hey, my name's Adam. I'm 6'3", brown hair, blue eyes, Florida Gator. What are you doing tonight?" When he was doing like work for project management in Panama City. Anyway, I found the email, which I knew was somewhere out there, and I found it. And then I hooked him in the jaw, and then I filed for divorce. Next question.
You miss the good old days of Craigslist solicitation stuff. I mean,
I don't even know if Craigslist exists anymore.
What was that like?
They just don't allow the sex.
No, they do. That's where I buy my chickens. On Craigslist.
Thank God.
No, the baby chickens that I get, the fancy chickens on Craigslist. Okay, next question. What do you got?
Never have I ever hooked up with a gorgeous Argentinian sailboat man.
Okay, both of you are complete assholes because this is only just me drinking. You're welcome.
Well, we haven't done that before, so.
Okay, so.
He refused mine.
Fine. I hate both of you equally. So, yes, there was a very hot Argentinian national sailor man from Miami who I'm still good friends with, and he's lovely, but he came to dinner, and both of you wanted to sleep with him. So don't act like you didn't. You both thought he was stunning.
I was just proud of you.
Like, he was the hottest person I've ever seen in real life.
Thank you.
I was sitting right here. Jeez.
And
Eric,
Eric, did you in fact want to sleep with him too?
I found him very
attractive.
Like, I was like, if I could change, like that movie, The Change Up.
Yeah.
If I could, change,
you would have slept with him.
I would change up with him.
Immediately.
I'll live your life, man.
He was hot as shit. Yeah,
so
I couldn't agree more.
I definitely choked on my drink when he said that. I was like, oh my God. And I feel like y'all weren't really like talking at first, and I was like,
I think he sat down at the table, and we just all went silent.
We did. It was so awkward because he was so hot.
This is how Rebecca goes. She leans over to her friend. Her girlfriend told us, and she goes, "She's not sleeping with him." Good grief. She needs to. That boy is hot. Anyway, he was so hot, and we are still dear friends today. So you're welcome.
Oh, so dear friends. So you're saying there was not a re-return?
No, there's been discussion of a re-return. Is that an actual thing?
It's a re-return.
It's a re-return.
It's a term. So
He's so cute.
You're saying you've only saw him that one time?
I only saw him that one time, but we still talk all the time.
Okay, so you're not saying you've tried to meet up with him before or again?
I think she tried to last time.
No, we did. He was
Okay.
sailing somewhere because that's what he does.
It's professional sailor.
He's a professional sailor. Duh.
With hair.
God, he's really handsome.
He was good
he was
looking.
really fucking
We
hot.
should, I think, definitely let's make sure that he comes to our next Miami dinner.
I think you should do a podcast with him. I mean,
He doesn't speak English.
How's the water?
No habla inglés. It'd be like
It's amazing. I'd be like,
And well, I guess we are on video, so you can at least see him.
He was so hot. Anyway, we adore that fella. We're still friends with him. Yay, us. I'll make sure to bring him to the next black tie event. So any news, rumor, gossips? Eric, do you have a favorite restaurant that you love going to? We last time talked about Yepa, which we love because it's delicious.
You're definitely a private club type of guy. And
You
where's your,
are a private club type of guy. Eric, where do you like to spend your time?
I like to spend my time at In-Town Golf Club.
I still need to join. I feel like I'm so behind the times.
No, we'll just do a corporate. I've already had a membership now for 2 years. You can be my corporate membership. We'll do that next time.
But when they said they were going to let us do that, will they let us do it now?
They'll totally do that.
Okay, let's
So I have two. I'm sounding bougie on this thing.
It sounds really terrible. You sound terrible.
It's awful.
What
My
other
private-
club? Are you
my
talking about
private
the
club-
one that you just opened?
My private club is my basement.
That's fair.
Just kidding.
That's fair.
So I've not yet. We just opened up the Oconee Golf Club, and it's a nice private club up in Watkinsville. My brother and I. So it's
Well, that's fun. Okay, so you actually opened a club.
yes,
Do you golf?
yes,
In it.
2 bays.
Perfect.
You have your own locker, liquor.
Can we go?
Anytime we want. Yes,
Anytime you
obviously
want.
we're
Yes,
invited.
Of course,
Oh, should we do that like an overnight?
Probably.
yeah.
So tell me, though, about the in-town golf that we're members of that we go to. It's lovely.
Yes, so it's over by Chops, and so it's got 10 bays. It's got a bar. It's got a restaurant, and it's just a place to get away for like an hour before you come. Like,
it's great for business meetings. It's fantastic. It's very quiet. Lovely bar.
I've done Zoom meetings on it before, and it has little nooks.
You did a deposition there one time.
I did.
I know. I was very proud of you for that.
And
can work on our driving when it's raining. Mm-hmm. It's very important.
I take my kids on the weekends.
Yep.
Sarah and I have done that before.
Yeah, I'm taking Adeline. So fun.
Love Adeline.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the bottom level of my husband's office, so Ryan can come visit.
Yeah, that's...
He does come visit. He does come visit.
He showed up that one day. We were all dressed up. He's like, "What in the hell is happening here?"
Oh, that's where we were in the nun costumes. Yeah, that's fair.
That was
the nun and priest costumes. Yeah, thank you, Chris Simon.
I almost got in trouble that day.
He was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
He was not entertained. He's like, "Why are you hammered and dressed like a nun at 2:00 in the afternoon?"
You weren't hammered.
I was
you
warmed.
Just had a cocktail.
I was warmed up.
It's Halloween.
I think I'd cut back on my drinking at that point in time. So like one cocktail was a lot.
I was going to whoop you a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a strong sign to not cut down on your drinking then, Rebecca. Just saying.
Nothing wrong with being sober curious.
Right
so that's your new drink place. You like going there.
I like
and
going
there.
It also
good
has
for work and fun.
It has a spa. So
as a steam room.
Steam room.
You know what doesn't have a steam room for women, which is some fucking. I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
Look.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
I'll sneak you into the steam
Equal
room.
opportunity.
I'm not saying this.
Yeah, I was like, that's a very dangerous quote there, Eric. I would say, so a couple of my other female friends who are members there, we have decided that we are going to take over, in fact, the men's locker room for like an hour, fucking 3 days a week so we can go and steam.
Okay.
As we should.
Where the men have sat naked, I think it'd be better just to lobby for our own.
Typically, you wear a towel.
Women do. But you can...
We definitely get naked.
We'll sit on a little washcloth.
Okay.
Yeah, gross. We don't want anything to do with those men. Okay. Eric, we love you. Thank you so much for coming to sit with us today on the podcast. It's been a lot. I know. I'm sure it's been slightly overwhelming, but you've given us great information and shared some very funny personal stories about attorneys in Atlanta that are always fun. And we couldn't be happier to have had you. So thank you for having us. And this drink is delicious.
So good.
Can you make it for us all the time?
Absolutely.
Okay, lovely. We're going to need the ingredients.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks, guys.
Well, he's done with his. He already chugged his. But
well, I'm not because I have baseball, so I only had a half of a drink.
I do not. But thank you so much for coming. We've enjoyed it, and we'll have you on again.
That's what she said.
Yes. Oh, God. Here we go. Episode 4.